Yes, sir.
Okay. Is my screen visible? Is it visible, students? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So let us start with today's class. So in the previous class, I have told you about the uh, types of loads, and also I told you how to convert the uniformly distributed load and uniformly varying load to an equivalent point load. And we also solved on one simple numerical example wherein you will be required to find the support reactions. So slowly we will build some more numerical examples and we'll see how to find out the support reactions. Now here you have been asked to find the reactions at the supports for the beam shown in figure below. Now first thing is the type of the beam is a simply supported beam because one end is pinned and the other end is roller. So this is the first thing what you have to note down. And then you have to note down what type of load has been applied on the beam. If you see the loading diagram, you can easily judge that this is actually a uniformly distributed load. Okay, this is actually a uniformly distributed load. Okay, and the intensity of that is 20 kilonewton per meter. Now you need to find the support reactions, that is the reactions at A and reactions at B. So we know that the at the pin support we have two reactions. One is the vertical reaction. Let me name that as say VA. Okay, and the other one is the horizontal reaction. Let me name that as say HA. And since B at B the support is a roller support, we have only one reaction. So let me call that as say VB. Okay, so now you need to find the values of HA, VA and VB. So I told you always we have only three equilibrium equations which can be used to find the values of all these three things. So the first equilibrium equation what I'm going to use is summation of Fx equal to 0, means summation of all the forces on this beam equal to 0, right? But before that I need to draw one more diagram called as the free body diagram. Okay, I mean to say the thing is, since it is a uniformly distributed load, I need to convert that uniformly distributed load to an equivalent point load. Then I can proceed easily. So let us do that. So I'm going to draw the beam once again. Now I'm not going to draw the supports here. Instead, I will mark the reactions directly. So here this reaction is VA, okay, and this reaction is HA, and reaction here is VB. Okay, right. Now you can see since it is a uniformly distributed load, I need to convert that into an equivalent point load. So let me just repeat once again how to convert the uniformly distributed load to an equivalent point load. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a beam here, okay, a part of the beam. Then the loading on this beam is, you know that it is a uniformly distributed load. Okay, just a minute, students. Hold on for a minute. There is some issue. Just bear with me for 1 minute. Okay, is my screen visible now? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, right. So I was telling like we need to convert this uniformly distributed load to an equivalent point load. So I will repeat that thing once again here. So this I'm drawing it as a beam line, say, and let this be the loading on the beam. That is a uniformly distributed load. Okay. So how you have to convert that is, so you have to once again draw the beam line. Okay. So the equivalent point load will act exactly at the center. Okay. So if this is say W and if this span is say L, so then the equivalent point load will be having the magnitude of W multiplied by L. Okay. And where it will be acting, it will be acting exactly at the center. That is L by 2 from here and L by 2 from here. Okay. So the same procedure we have to adopt in this case also. You can see here the uniformly distributed load is throughout the beam, right? So your point load acts exactly at the center of this uniformly distributed load, right? Where is the center? So the center is here. So your point load will be somewhere here. Yeah, here there will be a point load, right? So, and what will be the magnitude of that? It is, I told you, it is W into L. So W in our case is 20 and L in our case is 5, right? So it is 20 into 5. So that comes out to be 100. And this is in kilonewton per meter and this is in meters. So meter will go. So you will be left out with kilonewtons, right? And at what distances? So I will mark the distances here. So since this is 5 meters, so this distance will be 2.5 and this distance also will be 2.5. That is half of 5 meters. That is at the center. So this is also, this is 2.5 meters and this is also 2.5 meters, right? So this is how you can convert a uniformly distributed load to an equivalent point load. Sorry. Now I will proceed with the equilibrium equations to find out the values of HA, VA and VB. So let us do that. So first let me apply the equilibrium equation, summation of Fx equal to 0 and sign convention is all the forces in this direction as positive. So this is the sign convention. So let us proceed and check. So you can once again imaginarily mark the x and y axis. So let me take this as a x axis and let me take this as say y axis, and let this be the origin. So now if you see along x axis there is only one force, and that is HA, and no any other force is there in the x direction. So I can directly say that HA is 0. So this is the first value you have already got. So HA value you have already got. Next, I will take another equilibrium equation. Let me take summation of Fy equal to 0. That is summation of all the forces in y direction as 0. And sign convention is all the forces in the upward direction as positive. So let us start. So I have to consider VA, I have to consider VB, and I have to consider 100, right? So VA and VB are in the upward direction, that is in the positive y-axis. So I can write them as VA plus VB. But the 100 is in the downward direction. So I should write it as minus 100 and equal to 0. So only these three are there in the y direction. So equal to 0. Right? So since there are two unknowns, so I can't solve this further. So let me name this as equation 1. Now let us proceed and apply another equilibrium equation, moment equal to 0, summation of moment equal to 0. And in the previous numerical example, I have already told you, you have only two options in this case where you can take moment equal to 0. So either you can take moment at A equal to 0, or you can take moment at B equal to 0. That is, you can take moment equal to 0 only at the supports. So what I will do, in previous example, I have taken moment at A equal to 0, means on this side I have taken. So let us now proceed here with moment at B equal to 0. And what sign convention I'll be following? I'll be following a sign convention that all clockwise movements are taken as positive, right? Okay then. So since you're taking moment at B equal to 0, so let us start from left hand side. When you take moment at A equal to 0, you actually have to start from the right hand side. Now in this case, I have taken moment at B equal to 0. So let us start from point A. Okay, right. So what is the moment of HA at B? If you see that carefully, right? If you extend the line of action of HA, it actually passes through point B. Hence, I can say that the perpendicular distance between HA and point B is 0. So HA times 0. Okay, now if you see VA, okay, VA at B will actually cause a clockwise movement. Okay, means VA at B will actually cause a clockwise movement. So I should consider it as plus magnitude of the force is VA, and the perpendicular distance is 2.5 plus 2.5, that is 5. Okay, now coming to this 100. So 100 at B will actually cause an anti-clockwise movement. Okay, so I should take it as minus magnitude of the force is 100 and the perpendicular distance is 2.5. Okay, now coming to VB, you know that VB is at B itself, hence there is no perpendicular distance, so no need to consider that. So equal to 0, right? Okay, so this will not come into picture. So VA, 5 VA, I will just rewrite this as 5 VA is equal to 100 into 2.5. So how much it comes? It comes out to be 250. So it means that VA is actually 250 divided by 5. So it comes out to be 50. So therefore VA is equal to 50 kilonewtons. Okay, so now you know the value of VA. You can substitute the value of VA in equation 1 and you can get the value of VB. So if you do that, you will get the value of VB as also 50 kilonewtons. Right? So now what is the thing here? You have calculated, I mean, you have found the support reactions where all you have found the support reaction. So we have found the support reaction HA, which is equal to 0. I found VA, which is equal to 50 kilonewtons, and I found VB, which is also equal to 50 kilonewtons. Now let us do a cross checks what I told in the last class. So whether our answers are correct or not, let us cross check them. In exam, no need to do these cross checks, but in a rough page, you can do these cross checks and you can ascertain that whether your answers are correct or not. The first cross check. What is that first cross check? So total downward load should be equal to the total upward load. So what is the total downward load? Total downward load is 100 equal to, and what is the total upward load? VA plus VB, that is VA plus VB, that is 50 plus 50, that is also 100. So the first cross check is correct. And what is the second cross check? What you have to do is you have to draw the central line for the beam. So if you draw the central line for the beam, so it is somewhere here. This is the center line of the beam, right? And if you see the load actually, this 100 kilonewton actually falls exactly at the center line of the beam. So out of 100, half will go to VA and half will go to VB. Means VA will be equal to VB. Why? Because the load actually exactly falls on the center line of the beam. So VA should be equal to VB, and we are getting that only. So the second cross check is also correct. So both the cross checks are correct. It means your answers are 100% correct. Are you clear, students? Any doubts in this numerical example? So any doubts you have? Any doubts, students? Okay, right. Let us proceed with the next one more numerical example. Okay, right. Now here also you need to find the reactions at the supports for the beam shown in figure below. So what I'm going to do is first and foremost, I will be drawing the what is called as the equivalent point load. That diagram I'll be drawing first. So this is your beam. Okay, right. Next, draw the reactions. So since A is a pinned support, there will be two reactions. One is in the vertical, call it as VA, and the other one is horizontal, call it as HA. Okay, and at B there is a roller support, so only one vertical reaction, call it as VB. Okay, right. Now what you do, next thing what you should do is you should actually draw a line somewhere here, and also you should draw a line like this so that you will know where your UDL ends and where is the line of the 100 kilonewton. Okay, now I need to convert this UDL to an equivalent point load. So you see the beam length is 4 plus 2 plus 1, that is 7 meters, but the UDL acts only for a portion of 4 meters. Hence, now now your equivalent point load, that of uniformly distributed load, will not act at the center of 7 meter. Okay, instead your equivalent point load of this uniformly distributed load will act at the center of 4 meters. Okay, because the uniformly distributed load is only for the portion of 4 meters. So your equivalent point load will be exactly at the center of 4 meters, right? And what will be its value? I told you it is W multiplied by L. So W is 50 and L is actually 4 meters. Okay, so this comes out to be 200 kilonewtons. So your equivalent point load is of 200 kilonewtons. So let me just write that 200 only. Okay, then so at what distances it is acting? I told you it is acting at a distance of, since this is total 4 meters, so this should be 2 meters and this should be 2 meters. And this point load you have to draw it as it is because it is already a point load. So no need to convert that once again. So it is already a point load. So this is also this is actually 100 kilonewtons. And what are the distances? So this distance is 2 meters and this distance is 1 meters already given here. So this is your point B and this is your point A. So now you can see there are 2 point loads in a single beam. So now you can apply the equilibrium equations. So let us start with first equilibrium equation, that is summation of Fx equal to 0, taking all the forces in this direction as positive. And before that, you can mark your imaginary x and y axis. This is x axis and this is y axis. Okay, right. So if you do that, you can directly write that HA is actually 0. Okay, then let me go for next equilibrium equation. Now in this case, what I will take the equilibrium equation moment at A equal to 0, taking clockwise moments as positive as my sign convention. Okay, so initially only I told you there is no hard and fast rule that you have to follow the sequence of applying equilibrium equation. You can apply any equilibrium equation at any time. No need to no, there is no rule like first you have to apply summation of fx only or first you have to apply summation of fy only, like that. Okay, so now here I'm going to take moment at A equal to 0, means I'm going to take the moment of all these forces at point A, that is at this point. So since I'm taking at A, so I have to come from B. So let us start. So if you see VB, so VB at A will actually cause an anti-clockwise movement. Okay, VB at A will actually cause an anti-clockwise movement. So I should write it as minus VB is the force multiplied by the perpendicular distance is 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7. Okay, then what about 100? So 100 kilonewton at A will actually cause a clockwise movement. Okay, so you should write it as plus 100 multiplied by 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 2, 6. Then what about this 200 kilonewton? This 200 kilonewton also will cause a clockwise movement. So you should write it as plus 200 multiplied by, so the perpendicular distance is only 2 meters. And you know that the moment of VA and HA at point A will be 0. So no need to take them into consideration. So I'm equating this to 0. So I can see that minus 7 VB is equal to, so this is 600 and 200, sorry, 400, 600 and 400 comes out to be 1000. So if you take it on right hand side, it becomes minus 1000. So I can, so this minus and this minus will go. So you'll get VB as 1000 divided by 7. 1000 divided by 7. So it comes out to be 142.85. 142.85 kilonewtons. That is the value of VB reaction you're getting. So I got VB and I got HA. So still I need to find VA. So for that, I am left out with another equilibrium equation, that is summation of Fy equal to 0, taking all the upward forces as positive as my sign convention. So if I do that, so VA and VB both are upwards. So I should write it as VA plus VB, but VB already you have found, which is 142.85. VA plus 142.85 is minus this 200 kilonewton, which is downward. So I should write it as minus 200. And this 100 is also downward. So I should write it as minus 100 equal to 0. So therefore, from this, I can get the value of VA, which is equal to 142.85 minus 200 minus 100. It comes out to be minus 157.15. If you take it on right hand side, it becomes plus 157.15 kilonewtons. So this is how, students, you can find the support reactions. So I found the support reaction HA. Okay, so I found this support reaction HA. I found this VB as support reaction, and I also found VA as the support reaction. Are you clear, students, with this numerical example? Any doubts? Any doubts you have? Okay, right. So what I will do, let me just stop here. So I will take a few more numerical examples in my next class on the support reactions. Okay.